Okay, Japanese yen futures here. Setting alarms for a full reversal here. Mexican peso. As of right now, I'm including the lows here as an anchor. First move off of it. This is basically consolidation of this move. I'll lean that way, but if there's any type of collapse on Friday, then expect an acceleration on this Mexican peso to the downside. That would be long, or the appreciation of the US dollar or Mexican peso to the upside. And it would the acceleration would be quite quick. Sharp angle too. Sharply higher. 2120, I think, would be a target. Mexican peso. Now this is a weekly chart. Or excuse me, New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar. A continuation to the downside. Swiss franc leans towards the upside, but I like the short side. This would be interesting here. 103 to 109, 105. So 103, 105, 107, 109 on the long side on the Swiss franc futures here. Crude oil, I'm going to lean still that on the long, but there may be a pause here. I'm still leaning long. As you can see, about 47 should be the to get some swing to it here. That's 52. So we're back to talking about that again. So play, 47, 49, 51. Dollar index traded higher, hasn't whacked the low down here. I still lean long. This weekly bar, so we need the dollar to work on the upside today. I suppose you could look at this as a shoulder, head, and shoulder. I think it's a pause before trading higher. Narrow range, so S&P. Need some follow through here. Okay, so we have the weekly. All right. Okay, so daily basis here. Okay, needs to hold at least a 50%. Going to be some resistance here. 56. We'll use 56 as a low here for support. Is that 8 more lower? So it'd be 12 lower. And then on the upside, which is what they should try and do. Okay, not much there on the, a lot of, you can see the supply here. So 56, we'll say 56 for support, and then what, early on, we'll see if the floor buys the futures here. We do the opposite of yesterday. We opened at the highs, basically traded in a narrow range. And then today we'll see if they come in and support it. We'll have a lower opening, basically. Yeah, here's gold. I'll lean that this is a pause, but it's had a pretty good move so far this week. You can also look at this opposite of with the dollar. If the dollar does roll down, basically through this week's low, then I'd expect gold to continue on. And we're not that far away from the 1400. So it took, where are we at? Almost 10 months to go from 1050 to 1400. Okay. And I did notice that interest rates, we have had some, they've come down some more from the December high or hike, December rate hike. They've come down further. So I'm thinking that people are hiding in debt and will get out of equities. Today, Thursday I posted that I thought we'd see lower equities, stronger dollar, and then long bonds, long debt, or yeah, debt on the upside and commodities down. Happy Friday to everybody. This one looks like a reversal here. Eurodollar futures, that would be interesting here. That would also help with the TED spread. Copper prices, pretty good move on Thursday. We also have contract rollover and things of that nature. I did talk about earlier in the year looking for the December contracts for the housing. We'll see how housing plays out into the summer. I expect robust new home sales. Coffee to come back into the accumulation mode again. That's a pretty good move in coffee, 8 cents. And natural gas, we have the breakout, but we're back to about halfway. So we need to see some support in natural gas here. What was 294? Basically, I'm playing it as a retest of the breakout. Any pullback, more than interested in buying. Nikkei, possibility that this holds as an anchor and trades higher. NASDAQ, we have the breakout, much better looking than the ES. I would expect, though, some sort of retest here. You can see the angle of ascent is quite high. We're getting goofy frothiness again in individual issues and also with those Apple calls. Sugar, we're back to here. So we're using this sugar also like the breakout in natural gas just to see how it reacts. And we're back to the retest of the breakout. But remember that this thing's been screaming, basically doubled, right? Sugar doubled. So this may be a little bit more on reversal than acceleration. Silver, same thing as gold, comes down to the dollar. Pretty good move this week. I looked into DSLV, maybe get $1 to $3 off of it. A low of 18, staggering in at 1885. Then yesterday's from the open down to 04. This slaps something on the screen. Bonds, a little bit of bond movement here at short bonds on any strength. Here's VIX. Added some on the dummy account. Instead of picking individual indexes, just take VIX overall. Because you can see here once, like I talked about it, here's a low of 12. So all of a sudden, you buy in at 15, 14, 13, 12, and then turn around and sell the other way, 16, 17, 18, 22, that kind of thing. That's how I look at it, back and forth. Okay, YM, here's the Dow. That looks much better than the S&P 500, but it still looks pretty good for hopefully breaking out to the upside a little bit deeper on the pullback than I'd like to see, and the money flow is in there too. So there can basically whoever's getting in here now, I would assume would be weak hands. Bounce on here on the bonds, then add to shorts. Corn, anything, any 360 area. Like I said, producers hedge. Next couple of years out. 5 years, same thing. Short the rally. Soybean oil, decent price. Meal, you can see just like with corn, hard pullback on here. Cattle prices are cheap, so maybe we get people that want to get into the cow livestock. Notes basically looks like it's working on a weekly bear flag. Soybeans fade any rally and hedge out a couple of years. 2 years fade any rally. 109, 12, 13. Wheat looks like a bear flag. Like I said, start focusing on an accumulation pattern or accumulation plan. Okay, back to, I started off here, Australian dollar, possibility of a bull flag here going higher. Commodities, remember, they're also opposite season for us, North America here, growing season. British pound, like I said, I like it on the long side. Cut back on the 50% here and was repelled. So bulls need to come in and support it. For right now, in the down here, maybe 127 on the low end. You get a bounce here, and then bounce down here, 127. The range is getting narrower. Now we're coming into a 300-point range. Okay. I like it. British pound, just history after what happened to the British pound after the ERM. What happened? Will the pound, if equities continue to move higher and go through 2,400, the S&P 2,400 in 2017. Canadian dollar goes higher, oil go higher. A lot of money flow in there for right now. I'll stand aside on it. This looks like, where are we at? We still have some time here before America opens up. See if we can hold on here. But currency markets would get interesting here if the dollar has a late day rally. I remember that when the dollar fell on that Friday. I remember that Friday it fell hard, fell through support levels. So maybe it'll be interesting here in the dollar index today. Maybe I'll focus on that. Japanese yen, like I said, it's had a pretty good move right now. I like this on the short side. Mexican peso, I'm leaning on the long side here, but just be cautious about a hard swoon here, depending upon today's close. What am I missing here? Crude oil, right? Crude oil, possible bullfight. I'm missing the Russell, aren't I? Okay, here's the Russell. Possibility of a pause here. A lot of unbalanced volume. Cautious here. Like I mentioned, yesterday's 3 times ETNs puts on TNA here. If we get some sort of failure, you can just trail it up from here. Looks like it's marching. We have the unbalanced volume. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Okay, so there you have it. On futures.